I accidentally called out a new colleague on lying about her language skills. So I work at this marketing firm, and we just hired this girl named Becca, who claimed she was fluent in Spanish on her resume, like completely fluent. The job posting specifically asked for bilingual candidates because we handle a bunch of Latino clients and need someone who can do presentations and translate documents without using Google Translate like an idiot. Becca seemed cool at first. She had this confident vibe and kept mentioning her extensive experience working with Spanish-speaking communities during team meetings. Our boss Janet was super impressed and even started assigning her all the Spanish client work immediately. Here's the thing though, I'm actually fluent in Spanish. My mom's from Mexico and I grew up speaking both languages at home, but I never really brought it up at work because my official role is in graphic design, not client relations. The red flag started pretty early. During our first team lunch, Becca ordered at this Mexican place by just pointing at the menu and saying that one to the server who was clearly waiting for her to order in Spanish. Weird, but whatever. Maybe she was just nervous. Then last Tuesday, we had this huge presentation for our biggest client, Mercado Fresh. Becca was supposed to present their new campaign strategy entirely in Spanish. I was just there to show the visual mock-ups. The presentation started and Becca began speaking what I can only describe as the worst Spanish I've ever heard in my professional life. She was using basic phrases from like first-year high school Spanish class, mispronouncing everything, and literally saying things like, "The marketing muy bueno for your business sales aumentar." I'm sitting there watching our client's face just completely change. The CEO of Mercado Fresh, Mr. Rodriguez, looked confused and honestly kind of offended. His marketing director was trying not to laugh, but the absolute worst part was when Becca tried to explain their target demographic. She said, and I quote, "Los customers who like to comprar things para their familia and friends much happy." Mr. Rodriguez stopped her mid-sentence and asked in perfect English, "I'm sorry, but are you actually fluent in Spanish?" Becca's face went completely red. She started stammering about how she was still warming up and how presentations make her nervous, but Mr. Rodriguez wasn't having it. That's when he looked directly at me and asked in Spanish if I understood what was happening. Without thinking, I responded back in fluent Spanish that yes, I understood perfectly and apologized for the confusion. You should have seen Becca's face. Pure shock. She had no idea I spoke Spanish. Mr. Rodriguez then asked me to take over the presentation, which I did. I explained the entire campaign strategy properly, answered all their questions, and actually managed to save the meeting. They ended up loving the campaign. After the clients left, Janet pulled both of us into her office. She asked Becca directly about her language skills, and Becca tried to lie again, saying she was just having an off day, so I had to speak up. I told Janet that what we just witnessed wasn't an off day. It was someone who clearly didn't speak Spanish trying to fake it in front of our most important client. I explained that Becca had used incorrect grammar, made up words, and basically insulted our client's intelligence. Janet was furious. Not at me, but at Becca. Turns out she had specifically been hired for her supposed bilingual abilities and was being paid extra for that skill set. Becca got fired the next morning. Janet called me later that day and offered me a promotion to client relations with a significant raise, since I had actually saved our biggest account.